favorite book is The Physician by Noah Gordon.
Okay.
The book is about a boy who wants to be a physician, and he lives in London and has to go to an adventurous way to the Orient.
So I think I'd probably go with The Catcher in the Rye. It's about this boy who's kind of like this, I don't know, angsty teenager, I guess, and he throws all these tantrums in a way. Gets kicked out of a bunch of schools and then goes around New York and does all kind of crazy shit. It's just a fun storyline, but primarily it's like there's this urge in everyone that to kind of like go do something entirely different than what they're doing right now, and I think it kind of itched that urge or scratched that urge.
I've learned that one has to be really open-minded and to take sometimes risk, even if you're like, oh no, I cannot do it, I won't be good at it, and then just do it. Yeah.
Is there like a specific situation in your life where you've done it?
For example, I'm an exchange student, which means I'm actually from another country, and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to go here, but I just had to be brave to do it, and this is, yeah.
Probably dangerous to learn something from that book because he does kinds of crazy shit, but I think there is. I think that urge to do something entirely different from what you're doing now, when you start actually going out and doing those crazy things, you don't end up a lot happier than you were in the beginning. So I think to get happy, or whatever that may mean, the goal shouldn't be to change everything. It should be to kind of figure out how to get that in like small increments within your daily life.
So would you recommend the book to others?
Definitely, everyone has to read it. It's really good. It has a lot of history. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So what is your favorite book?
So my favorite book is a German one. It's called Wünsch, aber richtig. So actually it's not a whole storyline, but it's more this man telling about his own experiences he made with how to formulate wishes and how these might become true. So in his book he also includes like letters from other people who used his advices. And it's like the craziest stories who came true, and yeah, I think it really works.
So my favorite book is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So basically he talks about his life and growing up, and he was a Navy SEAL and then an ultra runner, and he talks about how he did that and how the challenges he faced on the way.
Is this something that you've learned from the book, or perhaps maybe inspired you?
Definitely. I have to say I also tried it out, and for some people it might sound a little bit weird. It also did for me, honestly, in the beginning. But it's just like that you really have to believe in these wishes and that there are no things which are too big, but yeah, you can just think of it and really believe in it, and then you have a higher chance that it might come true.
Yeah, what I learned from the book is that sometimes when things get hard, you have to push through it. So I do triathlon, and there's a lot of times where it will happen to you that you're not motivated. You have to train quite a lot, and then it's important to remember what you're doing it for, and that you have to push through and still go train.
I sometimes do it before exams when I'm like nervous and really want to pass it, but also for other bigger life decisions I tried it, and for some it worked and for others not, but that's fine. Maybe it will in the future.
So you will recommend the book to others as well?
Yes, I would.
So what is your favorite book?
La Nuit Des Temps de Javel. It's a story about researchers in North Pole finding a capsule with two people in it and trying to understand their stories and what happened about it, and found out that it's people from a past world that's been destroyed, and like in the same time it's a romance story.
So I think my favorite book is 1984 by George Orwell. So the storyline is, long story short, a dystopian description of the society in the future.
And is this something that you've learned from the book, or perhaps maybe inspired you?
Not that much. It's just nice to read it, and like a good summer book.
It more opened my eyes on the dangers of the future, of losing our sense of privacy, of losing our sense of ourselves. So this is maybe more of a moral of a story to combat, to fight the dangers associated with progress of technology, with stripping of our privacy by the governments, by the internet, and overall keeping yourself to yourself and being authentic in everything you do.
Yeah,
So would you recommend it to others as well?
yeah, definitely. But yeah, definitely.
Oh, of course, I think this is mandatory lecture for everyone nowadays.
My favorite book is The Social Animal by David Brooks. The author tells the story about two people, and within the story, he tells about the psychology behind it. So he adds a little bit of economics, sociology, psychology, yeah.
My favorite book is Autobiography about Donald Trump. It's about his past, how he grows up, and how he became the political leader of the United States of America. And I like the book because it shows how a man who was not original a political man, how he become president of the United States without any political experience.
I think it's probably The Midnight Library. I'm not really sure who wrote it again, but it's a book about a girl who attempts suicide and then has different storylines of how her life could have turned out, and then is able to pick whether she would like to live the life.
So is this something that you've learned from the book, or perhaps maybe inspired you?
I think so. I learned there's two people in the world, and how to act with different people, how to behave with them.
Yeah, Trump, if he wants to eat something, he don't get it out of his head, and he thinks about it every minute of the day. He wants to become a president, and everyone said, "Oh no, that's impossible," but he became a president. So I do not want to become president, but it inspired me that you can reach everything as long as you believe in it.
It really taught me how sometimes if life could be different doesn't mean it's happier, or if you've done something wrong that it made your life, I don't know, a disaster. Things are just, they turn out the way they turn out, you know?
Is it like a real life situation where this actually happened?
Not for me, but I've had a couple setbacks, and I think they led me to believe that they ended up in the right way. It's sort of like fate. You ended up where you're supposed to end up.
Would you recommend it to others?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very easy read. I think I read it in 3 days.